friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie, and oh my gosh, this view of my apartment looks so much better since I put the bookshelves on this side. It used to look, this angle, I never film in this angle because it used to look really bad. But once I flipped my couch and my media setup, now it's looking really good, and maybe I should film over here more. It's so cute. I'm obsessed. Okay, moving on. Wow, hair looking really rough. We're gonna ignore that. Okay, it is November 8th. It is November 8th, and have I read anything this month? No. I'm about 50% of the way through an audiobook, and that's it. That's it. I don't know what has been going on with me recently, but like I've not been in the mood to read, and I don't even really think it's a reading slump because it's not that like everything I'm reading is bad. It's just, I don't know, maybe I'm just really busy. I've started a couple of new things for work that's really taken a lot of time, so maybe like my mental energy is just, it just doesn't want to read right now. But the same thing happened in October where I went 2 full weeks of trying to read, failing, DNFing, and honestly I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna end up reading like barely even 2 books in all of October at this rate. And I ended up turning it around and reading 10 in the second half of the month. So let's hope that that happens this month, because it's already November 8th and I haven't read a dang thing. So to combat that, I am gonna do a little manga reading vlog. This is a little bit spontaneous, but I decided to go to a Japanese bookstore that I saw in Katie Colson's video. She lives in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I saw her video. I was like, I have to go there. So we went to this bookstore and I was blown away. I was so blown away. I got overexcited. Like I was just in complete awe. Now, I don't read a ton of manga. I have read a couple in the past, but it's really not a genre that I'm super familiar with. And there's like shelves of manga. I will show some clips in a minute. But like, remember when you were a kid and you would just go to the library and just like wander through the shelves and just pull books off that you liked because of the cover, or you just found something that sounded interesting, and like that's how you would discover books? I don't discover books that way anymore because I am so like ingrained in the booktube community. I usually know what books are coming out. I know what people are reading. I'm picking up, you know, the books people are reading, and I haven't had that moment of discovery in a really long time, but this was the place that I had that moment. Like I felt like a kid again, just pulling books off of a shelf that I had no idea about, and I was just going solely based on their covers, what they like, the plots, like what I was interested in. It was just like such a unique experience because I really haven't done that in a long time. And to be honest, I probably wouldn't do that with novels because I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Look at this TBR shelf. I don't have time to be going to the library and pulling random books off of shelves, especially because I know what I tend to not like in books, and I'm not here for mediocre quality, you know? Like, it's way too much of a risk to pull a random novel off of a shelf and try it. It just doesn't work anymore. It does not work. But manga is a place to do that because they are so short. So here we go. I hauled some manga books, 4 of them. So I'm gonna go ahead, add the footage of us going through the store, and then I will show you what I hauled, as well as we'll just make this a nice little fall vlog. Fall manga reading vlog. I'm very excited to actually read these things that I purchased, and yeah, we're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna do something completely unplanned, a little bit different. So let's go ahead and go there now. with a coffee. While you were watching my book shopping, I got myself a coffee. Okay, let's haul some manga. Yeah, so like I said, once I got into Kinukuya, I think that's how it's pronounced. Once I got in there, I lost my mind. I really lost my mind. Like, I was just like overwhelmed. I wanted absolutely everything, which is pretty unusual because, like I said before, I haven't read a ton of manga. I've always wanted to, but like did not really know where to start. So I was kind of torn because on the one hand, I wanted to get stuff that I was familiar with because that could be trusted. I actually had gone in there to get Junji Ito's Uzumaki, and the only copy that they had was a hardcover and it was $35. So I ended up not getting that, but I will, dying to read that book. I will absolutely be reading it eventually, but I didn't want to pay $35 that day for it. So yeah, I was a little bit torn because I was like, should I get something that I'm familiar with? Or should I, just try to be very, exploratory right now and just grab something that calls out to me? So what I did was I ended up getting a little bit of a mixture of both. The first one I'm going to talk about is Hunter x Hunter by Yoshihiro Togashi. Hunter x Hunter honestly needs no introduction at this point. It is a very, very, very popular manga, long-running series, and I have watched some of the anime. I loved it. I loved it, loved it, loved it so much. I watched it a couple years ago and honestly was just kind of throwing it on, just being like, okay, like let's see what this is about. And it hooked me so fast. I loved it so much. I loved every single character. Yes, I loved it so, so much. And ever since then, I have been interested in picking up the manga. And considering I just like to own pieces of media that I love. Like I like to have physical copies. I like to have physical DVDs of the shows and films that I love. And I like to have physical copies of the books that I love. I don't have anything Hunter x Hunter, and it is a series that I really enjoyed. And I actually never finished it. So I thought, this would be a great opportunity for me to re-enter the series and maybe finish it one day. The premise of this story is that this is set in a magical kind of semi-fantasy world where there's monsters and it's kind of magic. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially there are people in the world called hunters, and their job is to kill all the monsters and sometimes other people. And in order to become a hunter, you have to go through this grueling test that you could very well die in the midst of that process. And then you also have to complete a bunch of challenges in order to become a hunter. And then you can do different things to get to different stages of hunters. And it's just like a very dangerous, chaotic world, which includes a lot of things that I really like. I love a competition storyline. I obviously love the really high stakes. And what I really loved about the anime was that the challenges were a good mix of kind of mental and physical challenges. And one thing that I always love in anime is if there is a competition and it is a very mental battle of wits heavy kind of thing. And that happens a lot in the Hunter x Hunter universe. So that's exciting. And the other thing is that the characters are just perfection. I absolutely love them. There is a reason why this series produces some of, people's favorite characters in all of anime. I guess this might also be a good time to mention what manga I have read. And I have the entire Death Note Black Edition. Love Death Note so much. I love both the anime and the manga. And I've read XXX Holic, a couple of them. Love that anime, love that manga. I had never finished it because the books are really hard to find, actually. I was actually looking for Holic when I went here. Couldn't find it. Very frustrating. And I think maybe I've read a couple other, but I can't remember. Nothing's coming to memory. So I've really only read two. The other one that I really did want is I wanted to maybe pick up the first in Promised Neverland. I watched the first episode of the show and then I was like, whoa. Okay, I actually want to read this manga, not watch as a TV show, because my fiance watched it with me and he was like, Jamie, what is this? What are we doing here? So I was like, okay, I'll just read the manga. But my issue was that I don't think I wanted to buy just the first of Promised Neverland because I don't know how much, like in the first volume of the manga, I don't know how much of the story it captures. And I didn't want to pay just for the one that I've already read. So I don't know. I'm gonna hold off on buying Promised Neverland. I'm gonna try to get a couple of them from the library. And if I really love it, I might go back and buy them. We will see, but I do want to read Promised Neverland. Okay, moving on to the next one I have never heard of. So this is an impulse buy. I have a couple, well, these have all been impulse buys, but this one especially, I've never heard of it. That is The Apothecary Diaries. And honestly, did pick this one up for the cover. So beautiful and nice, wonderful. And basically, what I'm gathering from the short synopsis on the back is that the apothecary, very cute, and it seems like these potions might be magic, but also she's in a little apothecary shop and she's solving mysteries and there might be a romance. Like, what's going on here? I don't know, but I do want to find out. And I saw that the rest in the series, all the covers were so beautiful. So I hope that this is just cozy, sweet, has a little bit of fun things in there. I don't know, this just looked so cute. Okay, another one that I have heard of, but very briefly, like in passing. Like I read the title of the manga and I was like, I swear I've heard of that, but I don't know anything about it. And that is Witch Hat Atelier by Kimo Shirihama. Sorry, I forgot to also mention the author of this one, who is, oh my gosh, there's a lot of authors. Story by Natsu Hyuga and art by Niku Kurash. So yeah, but anyway, Witch Hat Atelier. Okay, like I said, have heard of this in some way, but really don't know anything about it. But I am on a quest to find my perfect witch book. And just maybe it is this manga. Love the art style, love the cover. It is so cute. And this is very much just a classic girl becomes a witch and needs to learn how to use magic. And that's really all there is to know about it. That's what it is. It's a very classic, traditional witchy story. And I'm excited just to see, I think, you know, my hope for it is that it hits the vibes in the beginning and then it like develops into something more original, more unique. We'll see. But I'm just very excited. I love a witchy vibe and I think Witch Hat Atelier could be the one. I hope so. And finally, an impulse buy. Completely impulse. I have never heard of this. That is Yokai Cats by Pandania. Okay? What is this? I don't really know, but it says life with supernaturally adorable cats. Think cats are mischievous pranksters? Wait till you meet the yokai cats. They're magic cats. They're magical cats. What else do we need to know about this? This sounds amazing. And from a very small bit of research that I did before I just impulse bought this, I learned that the cats have all different kinds of magical powers and they are kind of based on some Japanese folklore. So, sold. You sold me. I think this is just gonna be like a really cute little, you know, they're just comic strips about cats getting up to no good. And I'm excited about that. There's, you know, sometimes we can have simple things in life, simple joys. A magical cat book. So these are the manga that I did haul at that amazing store. I already can't wait to go back. So I will start reading these and let you know what is going on. In the meantime, I have some footage from a beautiful fall hike that we went on. It was so wonderful. We hiked Yona Mountain, Mount Yona? Can't remember. It was a mountain in Georgia. It was really lovely. And we're going to Cirque du Soleil tonight, so maybe I'll throw some of that in here. But I'm gonna sit down with my coffee and read some of these mangas. hello. I have finished the first manga on my list, which was Yokai Cats by Pandania. And what is there to say about this little manga book? I mean, it's truly just magical cats. Like, that is the whole thing. Yeah, it's very cute little colorful comic strips, and each of the color pages corresponds to a different cat that it's following, so it's very cute. And like I said, these cats have magical powers, and they correspond to these different Japanese folklore creatures. Yeah, so there is like a little description of each of the of the cat characters, and they usually like don't take too much from the actual folklore inspiration, but it does tell you, like, at the beginning of each new cat story, it tells you the name of the thing that it's pulling from, and then like a little bit about what the cat's power is, or just like what it does. Obviously I really enjoyed this. What is not to like about it? It's just like a very cute, sweet little manga. It's very short. It's basically like reading a children's picture book because it's so short. Yeah, I kind of wish I would have flipped through it before I actually bought it, because I feel like this was kind of expensive for how short it is. But that being said, it's very cute, and what I love is that it really does capture the essence of what it's like to own a cat, because, you know, cats are just, they are just freaky little weird creatures without the magical powers, you know? Like, they are just strange little things, but they have these like very specific things that cats do. And so I feel like this is just like very relatable. Like, if you have a cat, if you love cats, you're gonna love this, because the things that the magical cats do are really just the same things that regular cats do, but they have fun magical powers. And of course, like, not knowing any of the folklore inspiration for these cats, I mean, the things are just weird, I guess. Like, they're just weird and unusual, but I think that adds to the charm, because every cat is weird and unusual. That's like the whole thing about cats. So the fact that they are based on Japanese folklore is just a fun little added bonus, but it really doesn't, it doesn't really contribute to the quote unquote story here. There's not story, they're just tiny little vignettes about the lives of these cats, but super, super cute. I mean, they're just funny. Like, one of the cats is just obsessed with beans, like a specific type of bean. It's very weird and funny, but like, I relate to that because my cat Azula, she only likes to play with like little tinfoil balls. That's like her favorite toy, and she won't play with anything else, and it's very bizarre. So like, cats just have those things that they like, and they just have those weird little antics to them, and that is really captured in the charm of this book, of this story. So it's really cute. It's very, very simple, very wholesome, and I just liked it a lot. I think this would be a great gift to give to anyone who is a cat lover in your life. I think they would absolutely love this because it is so sweet and so cute. So there you go. Very simple, very short, but adorable. We are in Atlantic Station. We're going to get dinner, and then we're going to see a Cirque du Soleil. Yay! Very excited. We saw it last year. Well, the last year was called Curios, and this year it's called something else. I don't really know the theme.
Hopefully they don't bring back the guy that was trying to roll on those cylinders, because that was too scary.
George got anxious. Yeah. That's okay. We'll probably get anxious. There'll probably be something equally as anxious. Well, what did you think of that one?
It was too crazy.
George cannot handle Cirque du Soleil. He's too scared.
Yeah, they had someone like balanced on someone's legs. It was too much.
It is very anxiety inducing, but in a fun way. This is our second year coming to the Atlanta show, and I'm going to make it a tradition. Which story did you like better? I think I liked the last year's. You like the box?
The box is crazy.
This year's was called Echo.
It's a metaphor.
And I think the story was that a girl found a mysterious world in the forest. But last year, it was like a magical world in a case. So slightly different. Last year was steampunk themed. This one was clouds, nature.
I think it's a metaphor for creation and destruction.
That's enough. Hello. Okay, just returned from Cirque du Soleil. Yes, just got home. I have a lot of thoughts in my mind. Actually, before I left, I did finish the Apothecary Diaries. I didn't know what I thought this was. Like, when I read the back, to be honest, it did not really make a lot of sense to me. But now, you know, having read it, I'm like, okay, I see what they were trying to explain. But I thought that this took place in an apothecary shop. I was trying to be there for the vibes of her mixing her little medicines. But it does not take place in an apothecary shop. It takes place in a palace, because she is actually like dragged from her home basically and forced to work as a servant in this palace. And kind of by accident, they discover that she has this skill for making concoctions, and she is very well versed in like plants and medicinal things. She's able to, you know, spot poisons and all sorts of things. She has a lot of skills from her time as an apothecary, and so they kind of realize that she's of use to them, and they make her a food tester for some of the royal, not necessarily the royal family, but like the very high up people in the palace, so she can test their food and kind of like examine it and see if it was poisoned. So this gains her some, you know, notoriety within the palace, I guess. And really this first book was just a couple of her adventures in the palace, and they're really not adventures. It's all very small, and I didn't dislike it exactly, but a couple things did make me like a little bit uncomfortable. Like, for example, she is 17, and I feel like this girl is like just being hit on all this time by these men who are older than her. And just in general, this does have like a lot of very suggestive materials. It's definitely not like graphic or explicit, but I just feel like it's pretty much just like laced with sex everywhere. And that's because, as well as her, they're also talking about like the other women who live in the palace, either as concubines or as the emperor's wives. And there's just like an unnecessary amount of that material in here, and I'm just like what is the point of it? What is the point of it? It's not overly graphic, and it's not explicit or anything. It's just like all their conversations kind of lead back to this one place, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm really getting out of that. But anyway, the story is like, it's fine. She solves little mysteries, like somebody was being poisoned and she figured out what was going on, but I don't know, like it's just not doing enough for me. I wanted more like her in a little garden kind of vibe, and that is not what we're getting right now. I definitely didn't dislike it, but I don't know if it's exactly what I was hoping for, and really this is just the risk that you run when you pick up a book you've never heard of. So it was honestly not bad, and actually I really did enjoy the art style. I thought it's pretty beautiful, and the palace is kind of a nice atmosphere. I just wanted the apothecary shop instead, and I wanted there to be like actual magic, and I don't think that there's actual magic in here, so just not exactly the vibe I was going for. Hello, good evening. It is Thursday evening, so the next day basically, and we have 2 down and 2 to go as far as this manga readathon. And tonight, I'm watching The Big Brother season 25. Are we on season 25 or season 20? Whatever. I'm watching the Big Brother finale, so that is going to cut into my reading time. And also, George is gone for the rest of the weekend. He had to go to his friend's bachelor party, which leaves me all alone. And I don't like that. I do not like that at all for a lot of different reasons. But the first being that, especially because like it's so dark early on now, like the house has felt quiet, it's dark. I'm really hoping that my manga can keep me company. So, which one should I read first? I have a little while until the Big Brother finale comes on, so maybe I'll try to get through some. I think I'm saving, like, I guess I just decided this, but I think I'm saving Witch Hat Atelier for the end, and I already know what happens in Hunter x Hunter, at least in the very beginning, so I think, like, this will be pretty easy to digest quickly, and then we'll get to the final one, so let me start this and then I will update you. Yay! Okay, I just got to chapter 5. The first phase begins, which is the first phase of the Hunter exam, and we're gonna meet Hisoka. Amazing. Big Brother's about to start, so I'm about to be done. So I'll stop there for now, which puts me at just about halfway through the first one. We've met our heroes, which are Gon, who's the main character, and yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to judge this on its own, like, because I have seen the anime, or at least the beginning of it, and, you know, I kind of know their characteristics. I think if I hadn't watched the anime, I probably would have a really hard time, like wrapping my mind around what this world is, because it is very difficult to understand. But I think one thing that you can understand right away is that nobody is to be trusted in this world. It is the one thing that makes the series so fun. Everybody has a secret, everybody's lying, you know, anybody is out to hurt you at any time. But Gon, our main character, is just absolutely fearless. He is, you know, I wouldn't say he's like overly trustworthy, but like he just has this innocence to him. He just exists in this world that is basically made up of fear, and he just has none. Which is a very interesting protagonist versus like environment kind of conflict. I don't know, or it's not really a conflict, it's just an interesting choice. And then of course we meet our other two lovely heroes, Kurapika and Leorio. Both of them immediately have very strong character traits. Kurapika has just an abundance of intelligence, and he was obviously one of my favorites from the get-go. And then Leorio is just kind of out there, kind of comic relief. I don't know. There's not too much to him in the get-go, but we're gonna meet Hisoka, and I'm very excited about that. He was very fun from the anime. I do remember him, because how could you forget him? He's iconic. Love him so much. Okay. I'm gonna go watch the Big Brother finale, and then I will probably finish this tonight, because it did not take me long to read the first half. They're about to start the Hunter exam, which is extremely deadly. We've already had some tricks and treats, and we haven't even got to the exam, so it definitely dives right in. I don't know what else to say. Like, if you haven't read Hunter x Hunter at this point, if you haven't seen it, I mean, like, you gotta. It's really good. All right, I'm gonna watch Big Brother, and then I will finish this. Good morning. It is Friday, and I feel like my week is just dipping further and further into chaos the longer it goes on. I have a lot of work today and tomorrow. I'm working on a Saturday because I work multiple jobs, and one of them is a weekend role. So, I mean, I love it. I love it. But yes, chaos, utter chaos. Last night, I watched the Big Brother finale. I love Big Brother, but like, what are we doing? What are we doing with this at this point? This season was 100 days long, primarily because of the Writers and Actors Guild strikes, which prevented CBS from putting out anything other than reality shows. So they just stretched Big Brother for as long as it could possibly go. And 100 days, it's too many days. It's too many days. But after that, I did finish Hunter x Hunter Volume 1 last night. Yeah. I mean, like, it's great. It's great. I don't know. It's very weird, though. That's what I'll say. Again, if I hadn't seen the anime, I don't know that I would have had such an easy time. I would have probably just been lost, like, the whole time, or, like, for a lot of it. I would have probably not understood the world as well. It's just because I'm not used to reading manga. I'm not used to reading this, like, semi-fantasy world type of thing. Like, there's monsters, but the monsters can talk, and there's human characters, but they're not really human. Like, it's just a very weird, fantastical world. It's a lot of fun. Like, Hunter x Hunter is fun. That's what I loved about the anime. I loved the challenges. I loved the mental and physical tests. I loved the characters. Oh yeah, in the back half we met Killua. Love Killua. Who doesn't love Killua? I mean, like, genuinely every single character is so good. And I don't know if that's just my love of them from the anime coming through, or just, I mean, they're just great. They're just great. Hunter x Hunter is it's a great series. And you don't need me to tell you that. It's amazing. Everybody loves it for a reason. I'd say if you are new to the property, just go in with a really open mind and just have fun, you know? Just have fun. Some things are super weird. Just accept that they're gonna be weird, but that it's gonna be so much fun, you know? Do I prefer the anime? A little bit. I like the colorful world. I like the character designs. I mean, obviously the character designs are pulled from here, but I think the anime is just more, like, visually entertaining, I guess. I do typically enjoy the anime more than the manga for any manga that I read, just because to me it creates such a holistic experience. But there's also significant differences from the manga to the anime. So it just depends how you feel about, you know, how close it is to the source material, or which version you prefer. Right now, I think, like, this is just such a small portion of it. It ends on a cliffhanger, as the Shonen Jump tend to. It does make you want to pick up the next one and keep reading. That's the thing about Hunter x Hunter. Compulsively readable. They're just so much fun. And this is the question that I always have with manga, though. It's just like, okay, like, the volumes are so small. They're so small. Which means that in order to read this series, I'm gonna have, like, do I have to get all of them? I don't know. I'll probably find them at the library. I don't know. Another thing for me, I've never liked series. Like, series are just not my thing. I really prefer standalone. I've talked about this recently on my channel. Like, the series that I've read recently, I keep trying to become a series girl, and it never works. I'm pretty much done after the first one, and the entire point of serialized manga is to go on for forever, basically, or a really long time. I think Hunter x Hunter is actually it's done now, but, like, the point is that they go on for a really long time, and that is just not how I enjoy consuming stories, really, for the most part. Like, I'm not a series girl, so that makes manga a little bit of an issue for me, because I never know how much I want to commit to the series. Like, oh yeah, you can see my Death Notes back there. See, Death Note is a nice contained story. There's only 6 books in the Black edition, and that makes me feel good. I'm like, okay, I can see the end in sight, and that is important to me. Well, that's all I have for Hunter x Hunter. Look, if you haven't seen it, if you haven't read it, you need to. It's so fun. It's so good. And now on to the last manga of the video, Witch Hat Atelier. I have been saving this for last because I hope that it's going to blow me away. Oh, briefly, I think I give this 4 stars. Yeah, 4 stars. I hope that this is everything that I'm looking for in a witchy, magical world and more. I don't know if that's putting way too high expectations on it. Probably. But I'm so excited for this. And I'm just like so obsessed with this art style. I'm so excited. All right, let me dig into this and I will see you soon. My day is finally over. It is 5 p.m., but it feels so much later because it is so dark. But it's okay because I have finished Witch Hat Atelier, and yeah, no, I really liked this. I really liked this a lot. I learned that the word atelier means a workshop typically dedicated to an artist of some sort, an artist or a craftsman. So that makes a lot of sense. This is just a very, very cute story. It is very witchy, very whimsical, very magical, very cute. Our main character, Coco, she is, I mean, it's a chosen one story. She's plucked from her normal everyday life and thrust into this world of magic. And I loved the concepts in here. I loved the magic. I love the world building. Yeah, this is everything I wanted it to be. I'm so happy. I don't know if there's an anime of this. I might have to look into this. I am interested in continuing the series, I think, just at like the most basic level, but also, once again, series are not really my thing. Like, I'm happy to have just read this sweet little story, and we'll see, maybe I will. And so that wraps up my little manga reading experiment. I honestly did have a lot of fun, and I did think it kind of got me back in the mood to read, which is really what I needed. It was fun to experience a new form, and I read a couple different genres. I honestly enjoyed pretty much all of them, so I'm very happy. They were all really cute and great. If I'm gonna rank them, I think my favorite probably was Witch Hat Atelier, but also tied with Hunter x Hunter because I really liked them both. They're just kind of different. So yeah, those tied, and then maybe the Cats, and then the Apothecary Diaries, just because this did not give the setting that I want it to. But Yokai Cats is also like really short, like it's barely, like the comics are like 4 frames at a time, so it's really short. But anyway, that's all I have for you. Thanks for joining me on this very spontaneous manga reading vlog. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any manga that you love and that maybe I should try to pick up. Maybe I'll do another one where I pick up more random mangas. Let me know if there's anything I should keep my eye out for. This has been so fun. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, week, month, year, and I will see you back here very soon. Thanks so much. Bye.